Hi there guys, and welcome to this channel and to today's content. I am so sorry that there has been a delay and interruption in continued content, but please be rest assured that we will be continuing as per usual every Monday and Friday with content on psychology, self-awareness, psychoeducation, self-empowerment, and working towards healthier relationships all around in your life. Today's video is a follow-up to the psychology of entitlement video that was done, and there were a couple of comments and questions asking to know more. So I thought about it, and I thought about what could be useful, and I thought perhaps a practical implementation of tips on how to manage and deal with it may be helpful. So if you are a person that tends to feel quite passive and stuck in your life, or you feel sometimes that you wish someone could rescue you from your situation or someone could help you to get out of it, this video may be for you. If you have a family member or loved one or friend or something like that that is seeming to struggle with the psychology, either consistently or just through a period, this video may be helpful for you. So let's look at the first tip, and this is having a sense of gratitude. So gratitude is an antidote to self-centeredness. When we're feeling quite entitled and that the external world, people, communities, etc. owe us things, we often are stuck in a sense of self-centeredness, self-involvement, where we don't reflect in the broader context. We don't reflect on the things that may be going well for us, the people that are there for us, and the resources that are immediately available for us to capitalize on. So an antidote to that self-centeredness and the self-victimization that comes at times with entitlement is to look at a sense of gratitude. So the first sense of gratitude we have to look at is within ourselves. So basic things. The ability to think, conceptualize, problem solve. Many people don't have that after a car accident or something that has happened with traumatic brain injury. They don't have that ability. So you have that ability to learn a language, to overcome obstacles, and formulate practical strategies to get out of problems. So it's those types of things. A moving, working body that can get you from different places. A body that is able to celebrate the temple of life and to look at how your body functions. What does it give you? Not how it looks, because that's body image, but how does it feel to be in your body? How do you experience your body and the blessing of being in a body that functions and moves? And also your internal resources, so things that are not practically seen. So your talents, your skills, your abilities. Every single human being is blessed with distinct characteristics that they can give to the world, they can shower to the world as a blessing. So are you outgoing? Are you quirky? Are you someone that remembers things a lot? Are you empathic? Are you extremely logical, so you can help those that are not very logical problem solve behaviors with a detached lens? There's so many things that you can have, and you do have right here, right now, without much effort, that you can use to build a foundation to get yourself to where you want to be. So, for example, are you good with languages? Are you good with arithmetic? Are you good with people? All those things can be used. Also, all your experiences add up to your skill set, your tool set that you have inside yourself. What can you capitalize on to broaden that skill set? Then, gratitude then needs to be extended to the outside world. So often when we're self-centered and self-victimized, we're not looking at that. So let's look at our social networks, which are so impacted by sense of entitlement because they often feel so drained in trying to help you when you don't see those abundant things. So who's there to help you? Who's there and has been there for you in order to help you get out of your situation, to listen to you, to be there for you in the way they know how? So often you'll hear people say, yes, but they don't love me like this, which we have to understand that people are wired in a specific way. So we need to sometimes teach them, well, oftentimes teach them how we want to be loved and acknowledged and celebrated. But we have to give them time as well to adapt because we have different blueprints of love. So looking at our social networks, who's there and could be there that we may perhaps be blocking? Are we blocking certain people because of self-sabotage and self-victimization? So start to show gratitude to those that are there for you, that have patience and empathy and compassion, have a lending ear, all of those beautiful things. Also with the external world, what is currently available to you to capitalize on those internal resources that you can build? So universities, language centers, work opportunities, people that you could network with to help you if you're looking for things to develop or upskill in terms of your own sense of self or work, things like that. Things that are free, like YouTube videos. So many psychologists, neurologists, etc., etc., on YouTube. You have free available resources online, and I'm just talking about YouTube. There's so many resources you can capitalize on to help yourself learn about yourself or learn about topics that you want to upskill on. There's so many things that you could currently do. So that's a sense of gratitude. Now we're going to move into the second tip, which is moving from a passive response to an action-orientated psychology or movement. Now this is so crucial because you often find when you're dealing with someone, or even in yourself, when you're feeling a sense of entitlement or a sense of owing, that there's often a passivity in dealing with life. So responding, like we've said in the previous video, they respond to life as if they have no psychological power in imprinting on life as well. Is you do have a lot more power than you think. So moving from passivity to action, what does that look like? What it looks like is that you're starting to participate in life. So from a very, very small segment, it is showing up for yourself with opportunities that present to you, grasping those opportunities, capitalizing on them and building on them. So when we are active in life, we feel with time, the more we grow that internal muscle, we feel a sense of empowerment. I'm no longer a victim. I no longer feel like a victimized sense of self because I am actively choosing to try, experiment, explore different ways of problem solving. Okay, if we fail with one, we've got to try with another. Eventually we'll get it right. Think about anything that you've tried to conquer in your life or grow or master, like learning how to bake really elaborate cakes or learning how to move your body in a certain way, like a dance thing, or riding a bike or learning how to drive a car. You stumbled many, many, many times. There was a sense of failure embedded within that. That is so, so, so important to work through, because what does that do? The more you do things that push your comfort zone, as we said in the fear video, the more you do that, the more you build resiliency, self-confidence. You build a sense of worthiness in yourself, a sense of self-trust, because every time we say we'll do something we don't, we betray ourselves. So we're capitalizing and building on all those beautiful internal muscles and resources so that we no longer need the environment to save us so much. We no longer need the environment to rescue and take things and give it to us. It's not going to be like that. With time, although we do need help from time to time from our environments, with time, we're so strong within ourselves, is that apart from the big things that bowl us over in life, is we know that over time we can overcome it. We can become resilient and grow. So that's the second tip. So moving from passivity to action. So you can do it from a small aspect to bigger things. So the more you grow that muscle, the more you'll have confidence to go for bigger things. Sending your CV to a job that you thought you could never get, trying your best and applying anyway. Telling someone how you feel about them is also an act of vulnerability and courage. So starting to be courageous. We all struggle with this in various ways because it is scary to put yourself out there, but the more you do this, the more that you'll grow. So the third aspect, really, really important, is a sense of generosity. So a sense of generosity is to give back to your environment. So remember that psychology of entitlement. We believing on some level that the world or our environment owe us, should give us things. So that's a deprivation mentality. When we have a deprivation mentality, we believe that we feel a sense of emptiness or not enoughness, not good enough. So we need things, external things to fill it. When you act from a place of generosity, you're doing the total reverse. You're working from an abundant mentality. Also, when you're engaging with the outside world, you often see people and situations that have a lot of problems of their own, because we're moving from self-centeredness to a broader empathic view of the world around us. And you see that a lot of people have their own problems, big problems. So every human being that you're meeting has got a story, a blueprint of the world and story that they carry, a narrative. So the more that you give back, the more you'll see people with their own struggles apart from yours, which is such a humbling experience. It starts to really make you think about how truly blessed you are with the things that you do have. It's not to say that you don't deserve compassion and empathy for your suffering and the things that are going on in your life. But when we stay in entitlement, we're stuck in a sense of victimization. So when we are becoming generous, we can do that in very small ways. So you can do that by, if you buy yourself a cup of coffee, buy one for a coworker or someone that you can see is struggling or they're keeping to themselves a bit, and watch their faces of delight that you thought of them. It was so thoughtful. Or if you see somebody that really needs to speak about something, give them a few minutes of your time and show compassion to them. Listen to them. What is going on in their world that you could possibly help them with? So if you have a skill, for example, that someone else struggles with, could you possibly help them with that? So say if you are really good at with the arithmetic, or an aspect of arithmetic, and they're not so good at it, could you lend a bit of your time? Time is so precious. It's such a precious commodity. So when we give it to each other, it's often so celebrated and accepted. So give someone a bit of your time in helping them and seeing that response. It's such a fulfilling response when you help someone, another human being, through something, or giving them precious time and making them feel valued, making them feel loved and accepted. Ask someone how they're doing, how was their weekend, and actually listen. So often you hear people say, yeah, people ask me, hi, how are you, as if it's like a generic, but rather be genuine. How are you doing? I noticed this about you. How are you feeling today? It makes people feel so seen and validated, and you will feel so much more connected and out of the internal self-centered victimized state. You're starting to connect with other people and seeing empathically that we're all going through things, and we all in a way can rely, as long as we're not over relying on others, but also we're nourishing relationships. We're also nourishing a sense of service to others and generosity. So we know with happiness research that the happiest nations around the world do serve their communities without expecting anything in return. So that's one of the main things that they do, is they have a sense of generosity and giving to other people. So I hope this video was helpful and that you can all think about this. And we all do struggle at times with a sense of, oh, I wish someone could help me out of the situation or rescue me or take me out of the situation. We all do struggle with this. But when we know somebody or ourselves, when we're stuck in a permanent or very consistent state of being like this, these three things are a very good starting point to help get you out of that internal state and start looking broader. As often as a sense of context blindness, when we're stuck in ruminating thoughts of how bad things can be and how bad life is, or how you feel quite stuck. So that's a great challenge to start to use these three main tools to get you out of that. I wish you all the best, and I will see you guys on Friday for the next video.